just a matter of taking that stuff from the bullpen out to the mound right there and being aggressive with his fastball. We all know what a great curveball he has, but the hitters now around the league know he's throwing a curveball a lot. He's got to use the fastball to make that curveball much more effective. The good news is his first start for the Orioles this year was against this same Kansas City Royals ball club, and he pitched very well.
Buck, something else. These two teams are trying to do the same thing. I mean, these are two organizations looking to put losing seasons behind them. Kansas City's trying to find the right formula, too.
Yeah, they sure are, Gary. And they have the starting pitching, as you mentioned. But the one thing that has really hurt them, they've lost their defense. Coco Crisp, their center fielder. Avila's their shortstop. Anytime you have defense up the middle, you're going to struggle. And they have the pitching, but they have not played well defensively.
Well, we talked about Rich Hill is going to make the start here in this ball game. Dave Tremblay, the skipper, talked about that start prior to the game. Here's what he said. I would say he's had a tremendous opportunity here and has been extended every measure of patience all of us have. I have to look at the situation for what it is and see what we can do to make it better. You put all of that together and it says, Rich Hill, you better perform well if you think you're going to maintain your spot in the rotation, because that really is what it comes down to. When we come back, we'll have the first pitch, take a look at the lineups. Kansas City in town to take on the O's. Southwest.com and by Acura Advance. It is a night for barbecuing. It is a summer night, one of the few that the Orioles have had to play a game in, and even here tonight it's not uncomfortable at all. thing that Rich Hill wanted to do here. And the hottest hitter in the lineup coming up.
Alberto Callaspo has been a hot hitter for the Royals, a guy that hits the ball all over the ballpark. And the last thing that you want to do if you're Rich Hill, put somebody on base ahead of him. 8-game hit streak over 400. 4 RBIs, 4 doubles. This season, his 102 hits leads the Royals. He's got a 300 batting average.
Callaspo having an outstanding go of it right now. He's playing at second base. He is a switch hitter. The runner goes immediately. No chance. As Hill did not look and hold the runner, and therein lies another problem. And Wieters, who's thrown out 21% of base stealers, that's one that's taken on the pitcher right there.
Yeah, Willie Bloomquist didn't hesitate. Look at the great jump, and Hill hadn't even released the baseball, and Bloomquist was a third of the way down to second.
So Bloomquist on with his 17th steal. He's only been caught twice. He is their leader in stolen bases.
They better stop him at second as well.
He'll take off for third if you let him walk away here. There's a nice piece of hitting. Callaspo, even with a hit streak, gave himself up to move the runner over. Bloomquist goes over. Callaspo is retired, one away.
Now, take a look at the defense behind Rich Hill. It'll be that good outfield. Ron Rimo, Adam Jones, and Nick Markakis. Markakis picked up his 11th assist of the season in Boston. Here's Sturris and Roberts up the middle. Good double play combination. Moore and Huff will return to first base after having a day off on Sunday, and Matt Wieters is behind the plate.
And that will bring up Billy Butler, who is batting third in the lineup and has power. And the pitch is taken inside for a ball. This Kansas City team has not had a lot of luck against left-handers. They are 13-22 off left-handed starters. Trey Hillman, the manager, his ball club's got the third lowest win percentage against lefties in the majors. 1-0 delivery on the way. Butler, the off-speed breaking ball, is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 1-1.
Now, like so many teams around baseball, they've lost some of their key players. Coco Chris, Michael Vilas, who hit well over 300 last year. The right fielder, Jose Guillen. But unlike so many of those teams, they don't have the depth to replace those players.
They do have starting pitching. It's kind of ironic. These two teams come at it entirely different ways. The Orioles have to do it with their bats this season, while Trey Hillman's ball club, they have to do it with their starting pitching. Their starting pitching's held them in. The bullpen's not been good, especially of late. They've lost a lot of late inning games. That ball to left field is going to be a base hit and an RBI. So Butler picked up the early single in this game. He's done a number on the Orioles this year. He's now 6 for 19, and he's got 6 RBIs in the 5 games these teams have played.
Now, they didn't really hammer. It looked like the ball was in on him a bit. He got jammed, but he is so strong, he's able to muscle it into left field. Watch where the contact is. Way down by the label. It's a wonder that the bat stays in one piece, but he picks up a big first inning RBI.
So that puts a runner on at first base, and still only one away with Butler delivering. And here is Mark Teahen, and Teahen takes a strike on the inside corner. Butler on at first base, picking up his 43rd RBI. Teahen with a big average. He has driven in 35 on the season. Mark Teahen getting the start in right field. Also plays in the infield sometimes. A breaking ball into him for a strike. 0-2.
Yeah, Teahen played a lot of third base when Alex Gordon was out in the first half of the season. Gordon had hip surgery, but he is back in his more usual right field. Last couple of years, that's where he's been in the outfield.
300 hitter against left-handers. He went after one, and Hill will get a strikeout. Up and in, and Teahen's retired, 2 down.
Well, you can see by this defensive swing how the league is sitting on breaking ball against Rich Hill, and he overpowers Teahen with the fastball. Watch where this ball is when he swings at it. It's past him. Because everybody knows now Rich Hill's going to throw a lot of breaking balls. He's got to use his fastball to be more effective.
Now the runner at first, and there are 2 away, and Miguel Olivo. Olivo's the designated hitter in the ballgame tonight. He's a catcher. Breaking ball in there for a strike. He had his first chance as a DH yesterday, and he went 1 for 4. And so he gets another shot at it today, as Pena will be doing the catching. Hill will clean the spikes out a little bit there in the mound. Butler at first base, not a base stealer. Olivo 0-1. Wieters sets up outside. The pitch is there, and they get him to go after it 0-2.
Yeah, they've got to use the fastball more consistently tonight. In his last start, Rich pitched just 3 innings, as Gary mentioned, but 3 walks scored in that game. He walked a total of 4. 1
walk so far in this one, and that run is scored. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that's to first base. Huff almost handcuffed, able to haul it in. So a run in on just one hit with one left on. When we come back, it'll be the top of the order with Roberts, Markakis, and Jones. The Orioles tonight brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It will be Roberts, Markakis, and Jones, Huff, Reimold, and Scott, Mora, Wieters, and his tourists. Nick's got the 6-game hit streak.
Now take a look at the scouting report for Bruce Chen. Fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. He now, when he throws his first pitch to Brian Roberts, will have faced all 30 major league teams. The Baltimore Orioles he played for 3 years, and he knows the yard, absolutely knows this ballpark. He had one of his best seasons pitching here when he went 13 games for the Orioles.
There are the numbers, looking for his first win in this, his 7th appearance and 6th start. Brian Roberts tomahawks that one into the seats, and a fine catch made.
Had it played perfectly.
Audition. He did.
Come on, Dad.
Dad, relax.
Act like you've done it before.
Holy cow. Act like you've been here. Embarrassing your son like that. Brian Roberts shows bunt. That will be fouled off. And the count will go to 2 strikes. Roberts had Gordon playing back at third base, and Gordon hasn't been in that long, so trying to see whether or not that hip is really healed when it comes to fielding a bunt, maybe. Brian Roberts has started doing that a little bit, a couple of times now, and he catches that third baseman way back. 0-2 count on him. 41 walks. Breaking ball. Left center field. Center fielder Bloomquist. And Roberts is retired. And 1 down. Nick Markakis hot at the plate.
Well, he sure has. He raised his batting stroke a bit, stood more upright at the plate, and because of that, he's seeing the ball better, and he has been swinging the bat great. A big game in Fenway yesterday, and he drove in 3 runs. 6-game hit streak. Hitting over 400 during that span. 10 for 25, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs for the season. Just 2 points under 300 with 12 long balls.
And Bruce Chen delivers, and that will be taken for a strike. The Orioles continue to face an inordinate number of left-handed pitchers this season. It seems as though it just goes on and on and on, interspiced with a righty here and there. Markakis takes it outside for a ball. Nick has hit 267 off the lefties and 321 off right-handers this season. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery coming from Bruce Chen. The overhand breaking ball will miss outside. Bruce Chen may be one of the few pitchers in baseball where you sit on the change.
Yeah.
He loves the changeup. It's slow, slower, and slowest. And you'll see a lot of them. 2-1 delivery on the way. That'll be taken up high, and Markakis head on the count of 3-1.
Yeah, Bruce Chen came up in the Atlanta Braves organization at a time when everybody they produced in that system threw a lot of changeups, and they put it in your head, and it's still something he really relies heavily on.
Markakis got out in front of that one and fouls it off. And the count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Orioles happy to be back home where they'd love to put a win streak together. Nick, one of those who has hit well here, 328, 4 of his 12 home runs here at Camden Yards. Here's the 3-2 delivery. And Markakis will go down swinging. So Chen gets the strikeout, and there are 2 down here in the first.
Used the fastball that time, and looked like he just kind of surprised Markakis with the 3-2 fastball. 90 miles an hour, which is one of his best fastballs.
That'll bring up Adam Jones with 2 down and nobody on. Adam at the 298 mark. 18 doubles, 14 home runs. The extra base hits, and he bunts. Well, early in the ball game, you might figure just try and lash one, try and get a run on the swing.
I don't agree with that bunt in that situation, even though Alex Gordon is back. You've got a left-handed batter who is struggling on deck. You're already down a run, and Adam's got the pop facing a guy that is not overpowering by any means in Bruce Chen. And Aubrey Huff, the left-handed hitter on deck, is really going through a tough stretch, so you put him in a spot lefty against lefty.
Jones against left-handers, 254. 324 off the righties. The Orioles here in the first inning may very well be sitting on the changeup, and Chen is throwing what for him is a fastball. It's not real fast. It's in the upper 80s. They had 87 on that one. But if you're sitting on a changeup, it looks like it's about 104. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Breaking ball hit in the air to center field. That ball is deep. Bloomquist going back. Running track wall. Goodbye. Home run. Adam Jones ties this ball game up with a dinger.
Jones didn't know much about Bruce Chen prior to the game. He said, I just got to stay in a big part of the field against him. And he gets a high curveball out over the plate. And boy, that's a perfect swing on a breaking ball. Hanging right out there on a tee.
15 home runs.
That's
for
better
Jones.
than bunting.
Yeah, much better than bunting. Yeah, he's mighty happy he fouled off that bunt attempt now. Here's Aubrey Huff. So the Orioles get the home run. The 7th surrendered by Chen, all by right-handers. Aubrey Huff, he's taken a lot of extra batting practice trying to get things going. He's hit just 129, no home runs, 2 RBIs over the last 15 ball games for Aubrey. Average down to 248 now. And the fastball is in there for a strike, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count from Chen.
And you can see Aubrey's reaction as you look at Adam Jones talking about home runs with Luke Scott. So yeah, I scored that one right up on the barrel there, Luke.
Chen with a 1-2 delivery to Huff. Breaking ball outside.
But my point about Aubrey Huff, his reaction to the called strike suggests that he's not seeing the ball well. And generally that's what happens when you're going through an extended slump. You're just not picking up the baseball.
2-2 delivery on the way. Aubrey got jammed. I went back and looked to see in the month of July for Aubrey. Aubrey last year had his best month, 386 in the month of July, and his career batting average in July is 284. This July for Aubrey Huff, 147. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that one is going to be a fisted base hit into left center field. And that's what you want, just to get the confidence ebbing back in your favor. Huff delivers a single, and that comes a 2 down.
And this is the way you get out of a slump. You go back up the middle and makes you stay on the ball. Look how he stays right back over the head of the pitcher. Balanced, head stays on the baseball. And he didn't really rip it, but he'll take it at this point. But that's a much better approach. And he's got to start thinking about the big part of the diamond. And then when his timing gets back, it'll work its way more to the power side of the right field pool side.
So Huff is on. The Orioles get their second hit off Chen. Here is Nolan Reimold. Nolan continues to have just an outstanding season. Comes in with a 281 average. He'll take that one up high. The Rookie of the Year candidate is genuine. Leads rookies, homers, RBIs, walks, slugging percentage, second in average, third in total bases. 1-0 delivery on the way. I mean, all of a sudden around the ballparks now, other teams are saying, who's Nolan Reimold and how good is he?
Yeah, they're paying a lot of attention to him. You see, the average leader now is Gordon Beckham, the young third baseman in Chicago. Reimold leads in home runs and RBIs and slugging percentage. And he is quickly gaining a lot of attention. The Red Sox players are talking about him at Fenway Park, about how hard he plays and how he stays on the baseball. He had a great series against the Red Sox, going 7 for 10.
He got the Rookie of the Month award in June. You need to have one of those really in order to be considered for the Rookie of the Year. And he got his 2-1 delivery on the way, and Chen just missed as he came inside with it. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Reimold. Nolan's hit .295 off lefties, .273 off right-handers. Chen struggling here in the first inning after getting a couple of relatively easy outs. 3-1 pitch. Reimold on a breaking ball. It is in there for a strike. 3-2.
Now again, here's where Nolan Reimold can be so effective against Chen, because he is not pull conscious by any means. That will allow him to stay back and hit the changeup and hit the slow breaking ball.
First base, they play behind Huff. Butler does. 3-2. Runner goes, and it's inside and walked it. So Reimold is on with a free pass, and all of the base runners for the Orioles, 3 of them here, have come with 2 down, a homer, a single, and a walk. That'll put 2 on for Luke Scott as the Luke chant goes up. Here's another of the Orioles struggling in July. Luke Scott trying to get things going again, hitting .241 in July. He's had 4 homers this month. But of recent vintage, only 2 for his last 23. 2 on, 2 down. Breaking ball for a strike.
When you're going through a slump like Luke Scott, when they do throw a strike, it appears as though everything is right on the corner. Bruce Chen's walked a couple of guys here and given up a couple of hits, and he throws a breaking ball right on the outside corner to Luke Scott.
0-1 delivery on the way. Scott, another pitch that was down and away in the big cut. And Chen gets ahead on the count, 0-2. Well, Scott now try and hit it where it's pitched. Aubrey Huff on at second base, Reimold on at first. They both will be running on contact here with 2 out. Oh, 2 pitch. A little further outside with it by Chen.
Yeah, you would think that Scott's aware Chen doesn't have enough fastball to really beat you inside at this point, so you've got to think outer half of the plate, stay on the breaking ball. Don't try to be too quick and worry about the inside fastball here, especially with 2 strikes.
Chen okaying the sign from Pena, and the 1-2 delivery to Scott. Got him. He didn't agree. He's on the outside corner. John Hirschbeck made the call, and Scott has a little discussion with him. The Orioles, though, get the ball game tied up with 2 down. Jones, after he tried to bunt his way on, drives one to deep center field. Home run number 15. Maryland Lottery. For every Oriole home run hit tonight, you're off to a good start. You too can enter. Log in, MASNsports.com. Already a home run by Adam Jones. Here is Brian Pena. Pena is doing the catching the ball game tonight. Only had 56 at bats so far, and he will take that pitch, and Rich Hill falls behind on him 2-0 as Hill. That's what happened in the first inning. Pena had been out the last 2 games. He will lift that one into the corner in left field. That's a foul ball by that much.
Yeah, right now Rich Hill is struggling so to throw strikes, and Matt Wieters needs to just try to get him back in the strike zone as consistently as he can. That was a 2-0 fastball he was out in front of and pulled foul. But when Rich gets that fastball in the strike zone, then he makes his breaking ball much more effective. But right now he's not able to do that as much as he's trying.
And Pena will take a strike on the outside corner. Brandon Pena is 27 years old. He was born in Havana, Cuba, and now lives in Miami. 2-ball, 2-strike count. He has bounced around with the Atlanta organization for a number of years. In fact, he was with them last season, claimed off waivers in May of 2008 by Kansas City. 3-2 delivery to him, and he rips that one to left field. Reimold over. 1 out. That'll bring up Ryan Friel. Lots of familiar names for Oriole fans, with Chen pitching, former Oriole. Friel spent part of last year with the Orioles and then was dealt in May to the Cubs. That pitch is taken down low for a ball. Joey Gathright involved in that deal. 1-0 delivery by Rich Hill. A little bloop shot to the Bermuda Triangle. Roberts, a fine catch.
Well, when you see this ball off the bat, you know there's only one guy that's going to make the play, and that's the second baseman. The outfielders are too deep. Ball was down around the label, broke his bat, and Brian Roberts knows he's got plenty of room to make this over-the-shoulder grab.
Nice play by Brian. He's as good as anyone at second base with his back to the plate at catching pop-ups.
Yeah, he's as good as Jeter is at shortstop. And I don't think there's anybody that's better than Jeter at shortstop catching those balls running away from the infield. But Brian Roberts did it very well.
Those are tough plays. Here's Alex Gordon. Speaking of the Yankees, Gordon had the same operation on the hip that A-Rod did. A-Rod came back, and a lot of people thought he came back too quickly. So Kansas City is trying to go slow with their star, Alex Gordon. He is certainly not a number 8 hitter when he is completely healthy, but that's where they're batting him right now.
Well, it's a new injury, and the surgery is something that trainers and coaches are just getting used to, and you have to be patient with the development. When they come back, a rehab process. Chase Utley went through it. He had a similar surgery. Mike Lowell had a different kind of surgery, and Lowell had some bone spurs in his hip.
Gordon, a 2-1 delivery to him outside. Alex Gordon came back on July 17, so he hasn't had many chances, only 10 days. The right hip was the one that was surgically repaired. 3-1 delivery, and that is inside. He'll draw a walk. So Hill surrenders his second walk. This one comes with 2 down. This weekend, the Orioles are going to host the Red Sox here at Camden Yards, a 3-game series. Saturday game almost sold out. Good seats remain for Friday, 7:05, Sunday, 1:35. And we hope you'll be here to cheer on the O's. Right now, 888-848-BIRD is the place to go, or Orioles.com for ticket information. Red Sox have jumped out against Oakland, 1-0 tonight. They're playing at Fenway. And there he goes. Hill's got to hurry and hop down to second, and not in time. Rich Hill threw over, but took a long time to get it there.
Yeah, it sure did. A very deliberate move, and Alex Gordon went on his first move. Watch how slow Rich Hill is. You see, very deliberate in his throw. Aubrey Huff has to rush it, but they just don't have time to get Gordon. Second base umpire Wally Bell right on top of the play. He sneaks the hand into the bag before his tourist tags him. Watch where the tag is. High on the arm. There's the hand on the base. He's safe.
So Kansas City gets a runner in scoring position for Betancourt. Breaking ball in for strike. Kansas City's last in the league in stolen bases. So this isn't something they do a lot. And the Orioles are going to be facing this for the rest of the year. Where the scouting report on the Orioles is you can run against them. Trey Hillman clearly's come into the ballpark in this series to do that. Pitch is taken inside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Betancourt.
Now, there's a great article in the current Sports Illustrated talking about the resurgence of the stolen base, and certainly Tampa Bay last year brought it back into vogue, and they're continuing to build upon that. We saw it with Ellsbury in Boston over the weekend. The Angels run like crazy, but it's coming back. You're getting more and more athletic players back into the game, and I think the stolen base is going to be really prominent here, because catchers aren't throwing as well as they did because they didn't have to for a long time.
And pitchers don't hold runners.
Now nobody's really concerned about it.
Sabermatics tell you you've got to steal 75% successfully in order for stolen bases to mean anything. Down to third, Melvin Moore. His throw over to first. Huck makes the stretch and stays on the bag. No runs, no hits, no errors with a base runner left on. Ball game is tied, 1 apiece.
Especially David Hernandez and Nolan Reimold. Today, Dave Tremblay said the good news is we're seeing those players progress. And he said we are going to take our, quote, body shots this year. We are going to take our lumps and bruises, but these players are developing. And he pointed to Adam Jones as an example to players like Brad Bergeson, Nolan Reimold, and also Matt Wieters. He said if you guys can progress at the rate that Adam did from year to year, then this team is going to be competitive soon in the AL East. Gary?
That one is going to be blooped to center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit as Melvin Morrow delivers a leadoff single here in the second inning for the Orioles off Bruce Chen. And the Orioles get their third hit, and importantly, a leadoff one.
But if you think about the Tampa Bay Rays a year ago winning 97 games, several seasons prior to that, they were good young players taking their lumps. They all came together. They made a key acquisition in picking up the shortstop Jason Bartlett. They brought in Matt Garza. They brought in Troy Percival. A little grit and drive, and it all came together with a World Series appearance a year ago.
And the pitch will be taken inside. Matt Wieters, one of the young stars, of course, that the Orioles are dramatically counting on to get it done. No question, his performance at the plate has been slower than fans and he had hoped at .254, but he's picked up some extra base hits, 5 doubles, 3 home runs, and he drills that one to left field, but an Adam ball, Freer diving, gets it. Boy, did that ball have some sink on it. Wieters is retired. More back to the bag.
Yeah, that's a top spin line drive that was headed for the turf, and Ryan Freer recognized that and does that head first slide and gloves it just before it hit the grass. But Matt Wieters squared that ball up.
Hit it hard, but right at him. One away, more at first base, and here is Asturias. As Torres at 251. Bruce Chen will make the throw over to first base with Melvin Mora. The very short lead. The only way that throw makes any sense is if you're trying to get him leaning a little to keep the double play in order, but even that doesn't make any sense because Melvin's so slow. And to do it twice, buy me dinner.
Well, it was a long time ago that Bruce played with Melvin.
Oh my, why? I was kidding coaching staff of Kansas City about this. Why do you do that? It makes no sense. It's just a wasted couple of throws over to first base. It does nothing. It has no impact on the game. And remember, this comes from the bench. The signs come from the bench to the catcher, relayed to the pitcher on these throws over to first or step off or hold the ball. I mean, Bruce Chen's got to be out there going, I know Melvin Moore. He's not going anywhere. And the fastball is up high, and a 1-ball 1-strike count on his Torres.
I think a lot of times pitchers will be set with a sign, not like the pitch, and just throw over to first base so they can get another set of signs instead of shaking things off, thinking, I'm not throwing that pitch.
Well, that would make a little sense anyway. His Torres 365 off left-handers, 190 off right-handers. Melvin Mora back to the bag. He makes one more throw over there. Melvin's going to think he's a base stealer. One down and a 1-1 ball game.
It's official.
It's official. Melvin's 21.
Big lead. Doesn't have any lean to his setup. Certainly doesn't look like he's thinking about running, but for some reason Bruce Chen has it in his mind.
All right, Melvin, take off.
Nobody's giving signs over here.
No.
This is not coming from the bench, not coming from the catcher.
Bruce Chen's doing this one on his own. And the pitch is up high. Oriole fans giving a little cheer for throwing to the plate, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. As Torres keeps checking down to third with Juan Samuel. I mean, there could be a hit and run on. That's possible. 2-1. There goes Melvin. Hit and run is on, and is safe as the ball gets away into center. His Torres swung and missed it. So Melvin Morris shows him he's got a stolen base. But he was looking in at the plate the entire way, waiting to see where the ball was going to be hit.
Yeah, he expected this to be put in play, but his Torres was way out in front of the changeup. Pena's throw is short of the mark, trickles behind the bag at second base. The ball just skipped underneath the glove of the second baseman, Gallaspo, but not far enough for Melvin to advance to third.
And now his Torres will muscle one into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. Mora, here's the throw to third. He'll get there. Boy, is this a strange inning.
Well, his Torres just fought off this inside pitch, and you can see it really makes him draw his hands inside. He gets the barrel on the ball and flares it in front of Ryan Friel. Melvin Mora had to make sure it was safely on the ground before he advances over to third base, keeping his eye on Friel and aware there's a throw coming his way.
So Chen in trouble here in the second inning. The Orioles with a chance to get that lead back. Brian Roberts flied out to center field his first time up. Brian an RBI chance. And he goes after one and pops it up. He got jammed by Chen. It'll be handled by Betancourt for the out. And there are 2 down. They'll leave it up to Nick Markakis. Markakis has had more at-bats for the Orioles than anyone else with runners in scoring position, which is as you would want it. Generally batting in that number 3 spot. 104 opportunities. Nobody else close to that number. And Nick is hitting .327 with runners in scoring position. And the warm-up action begins.
Robinson Tejeda for the Royals, and the Royals bullpen has really gone through a rough stretch.
Markakis looking for the 2-out RBI, first and third. And the pitch is a strike.
Well, the Orioles aren't too pleased with the strike zone, and we have seen it from Huff, Scott, and Markakis. Most of the left-handers really have some concerns about the strike zone. You can see that might have been off the plate away.
0-1 count. Chen way outside with that one. Chen missed the entire season last year with the shoulder problems and came back this year to pitch at AAA. Called up to make his 249th career appearance here tonight and his 118th start. It is his 6th start and 7th appearance of the year with Kansas City. 1-1 delivery. Markakis got one to jump on and fouled it right straight back. A ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and you got to give him a lot of credit for being out that long. Here are the numbers he put up with the Orioles from 2004 through 2006. 15-18 record in 51 starts.
7-5 record here at Camden Yards. He had 38 games, 23 starts in this ballpark. This Torres will go back to the bag. Markakis with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ball game tied at 1. Moore is on at third. He got a single. This Torres with a single on at first. And the 1-2 is up high. 2-ball, 2-strike count. The starters for this Kansas City ball club overall have the 4th best earned run average in the American League. They're starters at 4.23. The Orioles have moved into dead last now. The starters at 5.30. 2-2 delivery. He didn't miss by much on that one, and the count goes full 3-2.
Yeah, here's the starters ERA, and the lowest ERA. The Seattle Mariners are leading the American League. Detroit's right behind them. White Sox have that veteran staff, and then the Royals. Everybody knows Zach Greinke's leading the American League in ERA. Koshaver had a great game on Saturday with 13 strikeouts, and Brian Bannister's throwing the ball very well right now.
3-ball, 2-strike count as Torres will be running. Markakis takes it, and they're loaded.
Well, Bruce Chen is painting himself into a nasty little corner here with Adam Jones hitting, and Jones went deep on his 2-strike curveball over the wall in center field with 2 outs in the first inning, and now he's got the bases full of Orioles.
A real struggle for Chen. Mora is Torres. Markakis on. Adam Jones with home run number 15. And we'll have to wait here as the bullpen is ready if they want to go there this early. Doesn't look like any decision in that regard, though, has been made. Bob McClure going out.
Bob McClure, the pitching coach, just trying to help Bruce Chen get through this 2-out situation with the potent part of the Orioles lineup. Bob McClure's done a nice job here. He's a longtime major league relief pitcher. Came up with the Royals in the early 70s and then pitched in St. Louis, Montreal, had a nice career, and has become a very good pitching coach.
Long time out there, and John Hirschbeck, the home plate umpire, comes out to get him. Adam Jones waiting at the plate, one of the top producers in the American League. And you see the 50-plus RBI players.
Yeah, and this is pretty impressive when you think about the 50 RBI guys. The Yankees have 5, the Orioles have 4, Boston is 3, and Tampa Bay 3. And here they are, Markakis, Huff, Scott, Jones, and Roberts, all with the big RBIs.
Oh, and it hit him in an RBI. First pitch. And Jones will trot down, hit by a pitch. He will get his 2nd RBI of the ball game, and the Orioles take a 2-1 lead as Melvin Morris scores.
Watch how far he misses his target as it hits Adam right in the backside, just turns into it, and it's painful, but he'll take the RBI.
So the Sox remain loaded with 2 down, and here is Aubrey Huff. Singled his first time up. Aubrey will take a breaking ball for a strike. Aubrey with the bases loaded, 4 for 8, including a couple of doubles. He has 11 bases loaded RBIs this season. Luke Scott leads the ball club in that department with 13. And that too is in there for a strike. And Chen gets ahead of Aubrey Huff 0-2. Chen's got a chance to get out of this inning, surrendering just the 1 run if he can get Huff. Aubrey's faced Chen more than anyone else in the Orioles lineup. He's 6 for 18 with 2 homers. Started, held up 1-2.
Yeah, if Chen can get out of this jam, it'd be a miracle because Huff has already picked up a hit. Bases loaded again. Adam Jones picks up the RBI when he was hit by the pitch, but Aubrey Huff had a base hit in his first at bat. Another one would be sweep right here and probably knock Chen out of the game.
1-2 delivery on the way. Aubrey Huff will foul it back. There's no play, and it will stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
Gary, you mentioned Aubrey Huff's career and how well he has hit in the second half. This, of course, has been a total departure from his career numbers. But there are a lot of teams around baseball that are keeping an eye on Aubrey Huff with the trade deadline looming because of his second half numbers. He's just a guy that puts up numbers in the second half.
1-2 delivery. Yeah, and it gets closer and closer. The big names still hang out there. I think it's, what is it, 4 o'clock Eastern time
Friday.
on the Friday.
Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't, we always remind folks, it doesn't mean you can't trade after that. It just means players who get traded after the end of the month have to go through waivers first. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And that makes trading that much more difficult. Bases loaded. 1-2 delivery to him. Aubrey goes down swinging, and there's that changeup, that off-speed breaking ball we talked about. So Chen somehow works his way out of it. Only 1 run on a couple of hits. Bases left, loaded. Orioles have the lead, though, 2-1. Northwest.com and by PNC. PNC leading the way. With Buck Martinez and Amber Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thornton. Great to have you on board here as the Orioles return back home for this set against Kansas City. Orioles lead it 2-1 as we go to the 3rd inning. Bloomquist back at the top of the order. He drew a walk his first time up. Jason Birkin takes on Brian Bannister in the ball game tomorrow night, and then Wednesday Chris Tillman, barring any other decision, will be called up to make the start for the Orioles against Zach Greinke, who is 10-6. The young pitcher for the O's will be welcomed by one of the game's best as an opponent. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Fastball taken up high.
Rich Hill's interesting situation when he falls behind when he gets ahead, the league's hitting over 300 against him. When he's behind, just 245. And it's interesting, and I'll tell you what I think the reason for that is the fact that he throws his curveball like more people throw their fastball. He can throw his curveball for strikes more often than he can throw his fastball for strikes.
Yep.
So even though he falls behind and gets behind the hitters, he can use that curveball when he's behind in the count.
We've referred to that this season as pitching backwards, in the way that he does that. It's a tough way to go, usually. I mean, first strike's one of the fundamental rules of pitching. But he doesn't necessarily live by that. 2-2 delivery to Willie Bloomquist, that he will pop that one up. It'll be in the seats.
Well, I think you could argue it's not working very well when you look at his ERA, and he'll admit that. You know, he has been hit hard, and you can see first time through the order it's not too bad, but boy, second time to get another look at him, they start sitting on that curveball. That's when the average jumps to 330, 363. So, you know, he knows what's at stake here. There's another pitcher coming, and they're only going to use 5 in the rotation.
Dave Tremblay made that clear in the pregame press conference he held. He was asked directly about a 6-man rotation and said, absolutely not. Not until we get to call-up time in the month of September, so we will not have a 6-man rotation. 2-2 delivery in the way, another breaking ball. Bloomquist again fights it off in the inside-out swing. Bloomquist battling here. Keep in mind, Rich Hill is not a youngster. He is 29 years old. He's not old, but we're not talking about one of the 20, 22, 23-year-olds that we have been. He's been with the Chicago Cubs and looked like he was going to be successful there, and then all of a sudden it wasn't working. 2-2, and the Orioles took him, hoping they could make some changes and fix things, and it hasn't worked yet.
No, it sure has. And the reason they rolled the dice with Rich Hill is that Rick Kranitz and Alan Dunn have both had him in the Cubs system when he pitched well.
And a looper to right field. Markakis in the gap. Bloomquist is retired. Really pretty night here at the ballpark. For all the spring-like weather that has been around the Northeast for virtually the entire summer, this is one of the few summer-feeling nights. And even tonight, it's not in any way oppressive. That ball will be fouled off at the plate with Gillespie up. 87 degrees at game time today.
Here's the hitting streak. Bobby Crosby, Alberto Callaspo. Crosby's got a 9-gamer. Callaspo 8. Johnny David, Landon Powell, both with 8-gamers as well. Boy, the Yankees had a great homestand. 9-1 on the homestand, and most wins they've had for a number of years on one particular homestand, and they've taken their act on the road down to Tampa Bay, and they lead the Rays tonight early in the ballgame.
3-0 Yankees early. Pitch will be taken up high. Alberto Callaspo, one of the problems getting him out of there is he doesn't strike out. He is the second toughest to fan behind Dustin Pedroia of the Red Sox. Contact hitter. 1-2 delivery to him. He rips that one in the air to left field. Going back. Rimo there. Can't get it. Off the top of the wall. A high hop. It'll be a double. And Callaspo's got a 9-game hit streak as he delivers the 1-out double here in the 3rd inning.
Boy, he likes that ball up in the zone. He rips his 28th double. This pitch is up high over the plate, and he turns on it. Rimo just can't make the plays. It bounces at the bottom of the fence, stays in the ballpark. But Callaspo has himself in scoring position with just 1 out.
Kansas City comes in as a ball club dead last in runs scored in the American League. They have the 2nd lowest slugging percentage and the lowest on base percentage of any team in the American League. Their offense has not been pretty. The breaking ball in there for Butler, who delivered an RBI single his first time up.
Well, Gary, they went over to Florida and got Mike Jacobs to give them some power, and he's provided a batting average just over 200 and only 33 RBIs. He just hasn't been that power source they thought they had. Jose Guillen, who is currently on a DL with a knee injury, has not had a good year offensively. They lost their third baseman, Alex Gordon. And they just haven't been able to put anything together.
1-1 delivery on the way. Breaking ball is taken inside 2-1. There are the numbers for the Royals. Next to last batting average, runs per game next to last, home runs next to last, fewest stolen bases, average of runners in scoring position 12 out of 14.
Yeah, in their ballpark, you've got to be fast, you've got to play good defense, and you've got to have more doubles and extra base hits.
That one is a fair ball. Late start by Butler. It took a lot of time watching it, but he's going to get a double anyway. And Rich Hill not fooling these Kansas City hitters. So Aspo will score. The ball game is tied at 2-2. Back-to-back doubles here in the third inning, and Butler 2 for 2 and 2 ribbies.
Watch the hesitation. He hits it and thinks it's going to be foul, and then by the time he says, hey, that's going to be a fair ball, he's late getting out of the box, but he's got plenty of time. Aspo, who had doubled ahead of Butler, scores easily, and we got ourselves a tie game.
And only one away with a runner at second. And here's Tian. Mark Tian will take the pitch outside for a ball. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Not a good start for the Orioles left-hander Rich Hill, as he has now given up 2 runs on 3 hits. The Orioles have 2 runs on 4. And a breaking ball and a good one froze him at the plate. And a 1-ball 1-strike count on Tian. Tian against the Orioles, 3 for 12. And this the 5th game these teams have played. Brian Bass in the pen for the O's. 1-1 delivery. And that's on the inside corner for a strike. Nothing but off-speed breaking balls. Runner at second, potential go-ahead run. Tian having a good July, hitting .307. And he rips that one down the line. That's going to be a base hit. He's going to go to second base. Butler will score 3 consecutive doubles, and Kansas City's got a 3-2 lead.
Well, Bruce Chen's ability to strand the bases loaded in the bottom of the 2nd inning encouraged the offense to come back here in the top of the 3rd. 3 consecutive doubles. This is a fastball away from Mark Tian. He lines it down into the left field corner. His 24th double of the season.
So for Rich Hill, the tether grows shorter. Here's Olivo. And Olivo on a check swing. It is in there for a strike. He lined out to first his first time up. Olivo, the DH, coming off a homestand in which he went 4 for 22. 0-1 delivery by Hill. Turns that one over outside. And the count will go to 1-1. Dave Tremblay watching. He has seen this before. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and that's a breaking ball inside, and the count will go to 2-1.
Yeah, this is Rich Hill's 13th start. He also had a relief appearance right after the All-Star break. His ERA coming into the game was .764, and the league was hitting over .290 against him. And again, he's struggled with his control.
Here's that breaking ball that will miss outside. 3-1. The Orioles at times this season, Adam Eaton comes to mind, have had situations with pitching starters where you just can't go any further. You cannot continually have starters go out and just not give the team a chance to win. And the walk will put Olivo on, and there are runners on at first and second. That's going to be it for Rich Hill. And it's tough. It's about the business of baseball and winning, because you wouldn't ask for a nicer guy to meet and know than Rich Hill. I mean, there's nothing. He's a great guy. He's trying. He has worked at it, and he wants to compete. But the fact of the matter is, it's not at this level right now. Royals have a 3-2 lead. Bass coming in. strikeout, and that has become an all too typical line, unfortunately, for Rich, and that'll bring Brian Bass onto the bullpen.
Yeah, the Commanders really let him down. He had 4 walks in his last start in 3 innings against the Yankees, and the 3 walks led to some of his problems here again tonight.
And the inning not over by any means, only 1 away, and Bass has runners at first and second. Brian Pena will stand in and take the pitch inside for a ball. Pena, who is doing the catching in the ball game, flied out to left field his first time up. Pena, switch hitter, 368 right, 243 left, limited at bats both ways, a couple of home runs. 1-0 delivery, that's up high. Trey Hillman has shuffled this lineup all over Lord's creation this year. I mean, he's got players coming and going every day in this lineup. Pena gets to catch a little bit. Oliva catches mostly, but Oliva's the DH in the ball game tonight. Here's the 2-0 delivery by Bass, and a slow roller. Only plays at first. Tian will move over to third base. Oliva goes down to second. Pena retired, though. They're 2 away.
Good sinking fastball, gets a little comebacker, but Brian Bass couldn't do anything other than get to 1 out at first base, and now there's still 2 more base runners in scoring position.
And this is a big at bat in this ball game at this moment. With Kansas City up by 1, a base hit here adds 2 more to the board. Get him out of there, and it stays a 1-run ball game. It depends on who you talk to, 3, 4, 5 moments in a ball game that decide the game. You talk to managers, bucking players. You generally get something like that. Key moments in a baseball game. I would think this would qualify as one of them. 0-1 delivery. What a stop made by Wieters. 1-1.
And Matt Wieters backhanded that ball, kept it right at his feet, so Butler Tian had to hold his ground at third. You know, you mentioned the momentum swing, and boy, you talk about momentum. It looked like the Orioles were about a base hit away from knocking Bruce Chen out of the game. In the bottom of the second, he got out of it by striking out Aubrey Huff.
1-1 delivery, foul back. Bass has delivered 3 wild pitches, so the lead runner Tian at third base will be aware of that and get off as far as he can at third. Give himself a chance in case one ends up in the dirt. Dave Owen, the third base coach, down there with him. 1-2 delivery. Got him. So Bass comes on and gets it done. About a couple of runs scored. They do it on 3 hits and a walk in the inning. And the Royals go back on top 3-2.
and a lot of the Orioles names are being floated out there in trade discussions, especially George Sherrill, Aubrey Huff, and Luke Scott. Now, I do know that there's several Major League scouts here in the crowd tonight. I do know the Giants and the Dodgers are here in particular. The Dodgers are taking a look at George Sherrill, and the Giants are taking a look at Aubrey Huff. And, of course, the question is, what will the Orioles get in return for them? But those are questions that will be weighed. Dave Tremblay said that all three of those guys have not showed any effects of knowing their names are in the trade rumors. He said they're vets. They know their names are being thrown out there, and they know they have no control over it. So we'll just see them keep on playing until the trade deadline. Gary?
And it will be interesting to see the names of those that get moved, and maybe more interesting, those that don't.
Yeah, it's always something you deal with as a player. Everybody knows when the trade deadline's coming about. And, you know, we hear so many rumors, but there are also deals that are going on behind closed doors. Not all the general managers like to talk about what they're doing, and there's some subtle general managers that are making some phone calls and not announcing their ideas.
Nolan Reimold off the end of the bat's got a base hit. Reimold just punching that one as a 4-game hit streak now. He had drawn a walk his first time up, and the Orioles get the leadoff man on in the third.
Nolan Reimold just knows how to get hits. And he's going to learn how to hit the ball out of the ballpark on a steady basis. Look at this swing. Ball is away from him. Doesn't try to do too much. Just takes what Jen gives him. Ball off the end of the bat. Solid base hit. And you just see it all the time. He just looks like he knows where he needs to hit the ball to get a base hit.
Not a good night for starters. Orioles now 5 hits in the ball game off Chen. Luke Scott will take a strike, called out his first time up. I was in Detroit last night. Jimmy Leland, who's one of my favorite managers, just to listen to him. We were talking about the trade rumors. He went on one of his tirades last night before the game about trade rumors. The 0-1 delivery, that would be lifted foul. I mean, I can't use all the words that he used, but he said it is disrespectful to players to start trade rumors. It affects players and how they perform. He said, I don't care who you are, you can't just ignore the fact it's out there. And then he's looking at all the people, the press people around him. You guys, he says, you just throw stuff out there. You just make it up. I know what you're doing. You don't care. You don't care what's happening to the ball players, what's going on. And let me make this further statement. The Detroit Tigers have absolutely no interest in Milton Bradley. You hear that? No, we don't have any interest in Milton Bradley. I know it's been out there. It was great. He went on for about 10 minutes. Throw over to get him back to the bag.
That's how you dispel rumors.
Yeah, that's right.
No interest in him.
And he was emphatic about it. He said, there's nothing against Milton Bradley. So I'm just telling you, we're not interested. Melvin Mora, runner on at first. The Orioles trailing here by a score of 3-2. And the pitch is taken inside for a ball.
The big problem is that a lot of people would love to add a bat. And, you know, the fans are saying, well, why don't you go out and trade for a bat? Well, show me one that's available that I don't have to overpay for.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. And everybody's concerned about holding on to their cheapest commodity.
Runner goes, straight steal. Wow. As a former catcher, how about the hitch in that throw by Brian Pena?
6 stolen bases, perfect. Pena just really loaded up and tried to get a little extra on it. It took way too much time. Great jump by Nolan Reimold, who's getting better and better, more confident of his base stealing abilities. But watch Pena. Real hesitation in his throw. Had no chance, basically, and that's why he just tried to get a little extra on the throw.
So the Orioles get a runner down to second base, and Melvin Mora will swing through that one. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Dave Tremblay talked about Reimold before the game and running. He said one of the things in spring training we talked about with him was that's a part of the game he's got to improve on. And he said he is. He's just got to know when to go, when not to. And Tremblay said we're trying to pick pitches for him to steal on, meaning they're giving him signs to steal, and they think he's got his best chance. 2-ball, 1-strike count. And the timeout taken by Mora at the plate. RBI chance here for Melvin Mora. You can get a base hit. Reimold will have a pretty good chance to score. There is only one away. Reimold being held close by Cayespo, the second baseman. The pickoff.
This pickoff was put on by the catcher. As you can see, Callaspo breaks in behind. The timing was really bad on that because Callaspo had to wait for the ball from Chen, but Chen was looking at the catcher for the sign to spin and fire.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Melvin Morris shatters the bat as he got jammed. Shortstop. And Juan Samuel had to do a little duck on that one at third. That went over his head. T-shirt Tuesday returns to Oriole Park tomorrow. The first 10,000 fans 15 and over will get the Nolan Reimold Orioles T-shirt. You can add it to your wardrobe and celebrate an Orioles Nolan Reimold's run for the Rookie of the Year award. And it's also Ollie's Bargain Night every Tuesday, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Upper reserve seats $8. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. 2 away, Matt Wieters. Inside.
Watch the barrel of this bat helicopter down toward Juan Samuel, and that's always a dangerous situation. It sailed over the head of Samuel and went well beyond the coach's box down the third base foul line.
1-0 count, 2 down. And Wieters gets the RBI chance. And a foul ball.
He's starting to come around, folks, and you have to remember that Matt Wieters has played about 6 months of professional baseball. And everybody is anxious to say, well, he's only hitting 250. Wait a minute. A year and a half ago, he was playing college baseball. And now he's catching in the major leagues in the toughest division in baseball and holding his own. Let's don't be so quick to criticize the 250 batting average.
1-1 delivery on the way. And the thing you see is the contact, Buck. I mean, he's hitting the ball. Even the outs are becoming hard outs. That's a great sign, because you keep doing that, you're going to get your base hits.
He's got 131 at bats.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's learning about Major League pitching for the first time, and he's seeing some tough pitches and handling himself all right.
Fouls that one back. Chen again trying to work a little magic here and keep that runner on at second base with 2 down.
Just think what he has to deal with. He's a young catcher who's learning calling a game in the big leagues. New pitchers, new batters. Plus, he's a switch hitter with 2 strokes to worry about. And he has not shown any signs of confusion behind the plate or a lack of confidence behind the plate.
2-2 delivery to him, and Wieters goes down swinging. Bruce Chen with a good pitch inside to him. So the Orioles, no runs on a hit, a base runner left on at second. It remains a 3-2 Royals lead.
Well, Rich Hill again trying to fight for his life. Makes a start here tonight. Billy Butler hits a double down in the corner part of 3 doubles in a row, and his control let him down as he walked free. And the Royals just did a number on him in that 3-run inning when they went opposite field, back-to-back doubles like Callaspo, Butler, and Tia. And Rich Hill was knocked out of the game early.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. 3-4-0 for the Royals, 2-5-0 for the Orioles. Jones with the 2 RBIs, one on his 15th home run, and one when he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. On the mound is Brian Bass, who came on to get the 2 outs to end the 3rd inning. Starts his first full inning, and out of the reach of Brian Roberts. Gordon's got a base hit and a 5-game hit streak. So Alex Gordon on with a leadoff single in the 4th inning.
He's kind of got on top of that ball and then put some top spin on it, and it's just a bouncing ball, but the second bounce with that top spin shoots past Brian Roberts into right field. Can't extend far enough to knock it down, and Gordon's been on base both times tonight.
Yuniesky Betancourt, acquired from Seattle on July 10. He is batting in the number 9 spot, grounded out his first time up. Betancourt getting a lot of at-bats against the Orioles, as he had some with his former team Seattle, and now here with Kansas City. He's 3 for 23 against the Orioles this season for Betancourt. And he will take that one to center field. Hit it pretty good. Jones backing up, and they're just on the warning track. Betancourt retired. That will send Gordon back to first base.
Gary, the Seattle Mariners are a great example of how difficult the general manager's job is at this point of the season. Seattle was perceived to be a buyer looking to add, maybe get into the postseason. Cleveland goes in there and wins all 3 over the weekend, and all of a sudden Seattle's thinking, maybe we should think about selling some of these guys now, as they've fallen 7.5 back of the Angels.
And then you got to look at the wild card, which keeps about half the teams in each league in the wild card race. Here's Willie Bloomquist. You're right. It's very hard because you do not want to say to your fans, we've given up.
Yeah.
I don't care how many games out you are. You don't want to say that. And you do if you start trading away the guys who are producing for you currently. And that is taken down low. But the wild card has kept so many teams in. And look, that's the whole idea of the wild card.
Postseason.
That's right. Texas, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Chicago, Minnesota. Now, granted, when you get down to Seattle 6.5, even that in the wild card, that's a little bit of a stretch. But so you got a shot. 1-0 delivery. Ground ball up the middle. Roberts got this one. Great flip. Can't be handled. Everybody's safe. Had to flip it from the glove to try and get it to his Torres. And with Gordon bearing down, and credit Gordon with coming hard, his Torres couldn't get the handle.
Yeah, these 2 guys work on this backhand flip, and Brian took a little time to right himself, get his balance, but you can see the flip was a little bit away from his Torres, who has to reach for it with the backhand. It goes off the edge of his glove. Great effort by Brian Roberts, but his Torres can't make the catch for the force out. Boy, Alex Gordon was all over his Torres as well, running hard and trying to disrupt any possibility of a force out.
That'll be a single credited to Bloomquist, and that puts runners on at first and second. And Callaspo up. Well, Kansas City's gotten him up when they need him at the plate here in this ball game so far. He grounded out the first inning with a runner on. He came up in the 3rd inning and got a double and would score. He started the offense in the 3rd. He's got a 9-game hit streak now. 2 on, 0-1 delivery by Bass, swung on and missed as he lunged at that one, and an 0-2 count.
Now, Brian Bass hasn't worked an awful lot since the All-Star break, but he is one of those guys, the more he works, the better he gets, because that ball really starts to sink, and sometimes when you're well rested, you'll overpower the sinker ball and it'll straighten out on you.
Here and look back to second base. Bass holding that lead runner close. Bass this season against Kansas City, only his 2nd game. He'd worked only 2/3 of an inning prior to this game, giving up just 1 hit. Most of these hitters have not faced Bass. That one up the middle. Taylor made 1, 2. Nice play by his Torres. So a big ground ball double play. No runs on a couple of hits with a base runner left on. Kansas City leads by 1. digress, talking to folks and meeting some of the kids. The outreach program by the Orioles, and plenty came to see him. Love seeing the kids there. It's great stuff.
Special young man, and certainly represents himself and this organization very effectively. And there's a bunch of good ones on this team.
Orioles down here by a score of 3-2. And a strike taken. Bruce Chen by his fingernails, hanging in. The Orioles left 2 in the first, bases loaded in the second, 1 in scoring position in the third. As Torres to short. Betancourt has made a real difference for them. They were struggling at short to have somebody every day to be playing. Betancourt has helped because this ball club commits a lot of errors. They have given up a league-leading 54 unearned runs this year. It has been a disaster in the field.
Yeah, and you can't do that when you have young pitchers because they become tentative. They become then reluctant to put the ball in play. You have to have a good defensive team behind a young pitching staff. Give them the confidence that contact is a good thing.
And a strike taken by Brian Roberts. 1 down. He is 0 for 2. He is flied out and popped out.
You'll remember that the shortstop situation was the first thing Andy addressed in the offseason to shore up the defense.
Fouled away. What happened to the shortstop of the Kansas City Royals? They're going to try and turn him into a pitcher. Tony Pena Jr. starting shortstop 07 and 08. They've sent him down now to rookie ball to try and turn the shortstop into a pitcher. He was not hitting a lick. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that is taken up high, so that'll be an interesting transformation.
Yeah, Trey Hill and Bob McClure, the pitching coach, brought Pena in on Friday and had him throw a bullpen session and just to look at his mechanics and his delivery. And Bob McClure said, you know what, there's something there. There's a lot of life on his fastball. Probably project him to be some kind of relief pitcher down the road. And it was interesting because Ron Mayhay, who's a left-hander in their bullpen, was an outfielder with the Red Sox, and he made the transition. So Mayhay talked to Pena before he left for Surprise, Arizona.
Good name for where he's going. Into these seats. And a foul ball. Brian Roberts second in runs, first in doubles in the American League coming into the ball game. Brian is up there among the leaders. A lot of categories. Hits, he is 6th, second in extra base hits, 3rd in RBIs for guys who lead off their lineups. 2-2 delivery and inside out foul ball. You stay at 2-2. There you see for leadoff hitters. This is all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, pretty impressive when you're up there among the major league leaders. 2nd in extra base hits, 3rd in RBI with 43.
In the air to right center field, Bloomquist. That is one thing Brian has done more of this year, and it generally doesn't benefit him, and that's putting the ball in the air. He's become a fly ball hitter this season, and Brian's not a fly ball hitter. So it's hard ground balls and line drives that will get him on base with the occasional home run. 2 down here in the 4th inning. And Nick Markakis. Markakis, a strikeout victim, and he has drawn a walk. Nick with the 6-game hit streak. Bruce Chen outside for a ball. Chen with a 32 and 42 major league record. Pitch is taken for a strike. Hank Snow wrote the song. He's lived it. I've been everywhere, and he has. He has been all over Major League Baseball. Here's the 1-1 delivery in the way. Markakis nubs it foul. 1-2.
That's got a chance to come back. That ball was twisting on the outer edge of the grass down the 3rd baseline, and Chen recognized that it was spinning up against the outside edge and headed back toward the foul line. Take a look at this ball. Lots of spin on it, and right here it starts to come back into fair territory.
And Nick would have had it. He was down there at first base. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Fastball right there, just frozen. And that's what the fastball, even though it's only about 87, 88, can do when you throw that off-speed pitch as often as he does. Airlines, automobiles, and boats. What a beautiful night in the Inner Harbor. And here at Camden Yards, summer wear is not easy to find. Attractive and well matched. That thing was alive a half hour ago.
Really difficult to find good-looking summer wear.
You could drink a Guinness out of that or just wear it on your head. Here's Billy Butler, and the fastball is taken up high. Butler a double and an RBI and a single and an RBI. So he has upped his RBI output to 44. And the 2 hits in this ball game. Brian Bass delivers to him a fastball taken inside. Kansas City with just 15 road wins, 1 less than the Orioles. 2 teams who have struggled more than any others in road games this year. 2-0 delivery in the way, and Bass will get a called strike in the inside corner. 2-1. Kansas City hits .262 at home and .237 on the road. 2-1 delivery on the way. And the Orioles all season long have had an even bigger spread between what they hit at home and what they hit on the road. Has been one of the largest differentials in the majors. 3-1. Butler looking for one to drive, fouls it away, full count.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Orioles offensively, their hitters are hitting for a decent average. They just haven't had the same kind of pop. Last year they hit more home runs, they drove in more runs, they were among the middle of the pack in run score. This year they're down at about a third. Adam Jones certainly has done his part, as has Markakis.
Here's the 3-2 delivery on the way and a slow chopper. Melvin Mora was way back. Running throw, not going to get him. Melvin down on the grass. He was very deep at third base. Butler, a power hitter, is going to get his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Well, Billy Butler's had a perfect night here. No chance for Melvin on this play. He is so deep. 2 strikes. Butler with a swinging bunt up the line, and not much Melvin can do. He gave it a whole college try, but it's about half a step too late at first, and Butler's 3 for 3.
So Butler gets his 6th 3-hit ball game of the season, and he is on leading off the 5th inning. 3 out of the 5 innings, Kansas City's gotten the leadoff man on base. They scored in the first when they did it. They picked up the run in the 3rd when they had 1 out and started the rally. Left 1 on in the 4th when they had the leadoff man on. And a chopper. The Baltimore chop. Play's going to be at first. Buried it. And a nice play by Huff. As Bass Through that one into terra firma. Down to second base goes Butler. One away. Tien retired.
Yeah, Brian Bass makes the right decision here. He knows he's only going to get one out, but watch how he bounces the ball to Aubrey Huff. Aubrey does a great job. He just hangs on to the ball too long and just steers it into the ground. And Aubrey Huff did a heck of a job. When you expect to get one in the middle of the chest, you get it down around your shoes.
Break for the Orioles right there because of Huff's play at first base. Butler now at second. Here's Olivo. He's walked and lined out. And Olivo takes the big cut and misses. Olivo coming in with the 36 RBIs against the Orioles. He's gone 1 for 9 with a homer and 3 runs batted in this year. And the fastball by Bass is there for a strike. The impression being that Olivo didn't agree with John Hirschbeck, but joined the crowd. It's been that kind of a night for the home plate umpire. He's had a lot of people looking back at him, and they weren't inviting him out to dinner. Runner off second base and the 0-2 delivery. Wieters, as we've seen him do so often when he wants that waist pitch up high, stands up to make sure that's where it goes. 1-2. And that one to right field. Nick Markakis coming, diving, reaching, and got it. Nice play. Nick Markakis on the diving catch. Marty Foster, the first base umpire, going out to make the call.
Nick made a catch just like this in Boston over the weekend on a little sinking liner in right field. Watch how he slips the glove underneath the baseball before it hits the turf, and then hangs on as he slides past his glove for the out. And it's a tough play for an outfielder coming straight in. The ball is sinking on you. You lose perspective of just how long it's going to hang up there, but he made a fine sliding catch to take away a base hit.
And now Bass has 2 down and a runner at second base. And here is Pena. He is flied out and grounded out. Brian Pena, 58 at bats on the year now. 1-0 delivery to him will be taken. It will miss. 2-0. Pena came up from AAA on May 31. Working behind the plate in this game, and they're going to walk him with first base open and Friel on deck. There's ball 4.
Yeah, you got behind him here. Base open, so go ahead and bring the right-hander up here.
So Friel will come up 2 down, 2 on. Tomorrow you can help Orioles reach. Support the Maryland Food Bank and find out if your favorite Orioles have what it takes in the kitchen. It is the cook-off. Oriole players Brian Roberts, Jeremy Guthrie, Greg Zahn. They'll be at the ESPN Zone from 11:30 until 1, competing in the team's first ever cooking competition. We hope you'll be there. Ground ball towards second base. Brian Roberts. Friel is retired. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Big defensive play helping Bass out in the inning as Markakis hauled that one in on Olivo.
tough situation in that second inning. He allowed one run but stranded the bases loaded when he struck out Aubrey Huff. The important thing right now, Brian Bass is doing exactly what Dave Tremblay needs, keeping the Royals in check and giving the hitters a chance to break through against Bruce Chen and eventually get down that bullpen.
And the importance of defensive plays we've seen in this ball game. There have been a couple. Nick Markakis in the last half inning. These kind of games, that makes the difference. That limits the innings that have to, the number of pitches that have to be thrown, the outs that have to be gotten, and opportunities taken away.
But it also encourages the pitchers to throw strikes when you have good defense behind you. We saw Cesar Sturz make a fine double play earlier in the game, and Markakis making a nice diving catch, sliding to take away a base hit. So defense will encourage the pitching staff an awful lot.
So Bass, who can go deep into the game, if the Orioles can get the lead, he's got a chance to be the winner here, and we'll see if the Oriole bats now can get back against Bruce Chen, as Adam Jones will lead it off. Adam has had a home run in the ball game in his first at bat, his 15th of the year. Also an RBI when he was hit by a pitch. And that one is out in front of Adam Jones, having a quality season. The All-Star game was no fluke, and that home run, part of the power he has displayed and gotten better at it as the season's gone along. Breaking ball, take it inside.
Well, Dave Tremblay is always going to refer to Adam Jones about the improvement from last year to this year and how he got his feet on the ground and got his indoctrination into the American League East last year, and then saw what he had to accomplish to become one of the premier players. He's done it in a very short amount of time. I think when you look at Adam Jones and how he has grown, it's easy to project the same type of growth for a Matt Wieters and even a Nolan Reimold and say, wow, we're going to have some pretty good young position players here to go along with what we expect to be a very good young pitching staff.
Outfield pretty well set for the Orioles. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Chen gets him. Wow, Bruce Chen has got 6 strikeouts in this ball game, including 2 in a row. Markakis the last inning, and Jones here.
He's used his fastball very effectively, and you can't discount the value of fastballs. Watch where this ball is when it passes over the top of Adam Jones' bat. It's back over the plate. You got to extend and hit the ball out in front of the plate if you're going to put the barrel on the ball, and that time Jones was late on a Chen fastball.
New strikeout high for Chen this year with the 6. His career high is 9 back in September of 2000 for Bruce Chen. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way, and Aubrey Huff will foul that one off. Worth remembering here that Bruce Chen has not had a win at the major league level since 2005. Bruce Chen is 0-5 coming into this ball game. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. The delivery to Huff, and Aubrey rips it into right field for a base hit. So Aubrey's 2 for 3 in the ball game with a couple of singles. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Now the Orioles trying to get Chen, by the light of the moon, out of there. Beautiful summer night. 1 down. Here's Nolan Reimold. Reimold a single and a walk in the ball game, and will take the fastball for a strike.
I don't care who you are, how hard you throw. If you can command the strike zone with fastballs, you can pitch in the big leagues. Add a little, subtract a little, throw an occasional breaking ball over, but it's all about your fastball command.
Reimold lifts that one into left field, and he's got a base hit. So Reimold's 2 for 2 and a walk in the ball game, and the Orioles have 2 on and 1 out.
All you need to say about Nolan Reimold is he's a ball player. He plays well in the field. He can steal bases. He's a good hitter. And he comes to the ballpark just anxious for an opportunity. That ball is pretty good pitch down around his ankles, and he rakes it into left field. He's on fire right now.
Yeah, he is. Warm-up action in the bullpen again. Tejeda again up. Luke Scott, he has been called out on strikes and flied out. Scott is due. 2 hits in his last 25 at-bats. Still with 18 home runs and 53 RBIs. 2 on and 1 out. And that will be no play on that. Back into the seats.
Well, you see Aubrey Huff with a couple of hits tonight. You just get a sense that it's coming soon for Luke Scott. He tried to get on top of that inside fastball and just was out in front of it a bit. And that's what's so admirable when you think about the consistent 100 RBI guys. Luke Scott was on that pace early in the season, and you say, wow, he's going to have one of those big years, and then he goes into a little bit of a tailspin. But the guys that do it year in and year out are pretty remarkable.
Looking for the force. Chen with 2 on. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way. Last year, Scott hit only .215 against left-handers. This season, he has upped his average to .301 against lefties. That's a pretty dramatic improvement.
Well, it sure is. And the thing is, Luke knew that his playing time was going to be challenged, so he had to improve that number against left-handers if he wanted to be an everyday player.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Scott takes it. It will miss. And ahead on the count, 2-1.
Another thing that's been impressive is the way Luke Scott has adjusted to being a DH. Very reluctant to be the DH full time, and he wanted to get that playing time in the outfield. But with the promotion of Nolan Reimold and his subsequent development, Luke Scott has been pretty much the everyday DH all year long.
That's been an interesting, not much talked about development over the course of this year, because Scott originally in spring training was going to share duties in left field. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. Scott reached for a good pitch by Chen. Infield fly rule is in effect. Gordon will make the catch, the third baseman. Scott is retired, and there are 2 away. So Chen trying to work a little more of his magic. Melvin Mora with 2 down. Melvin has singled, stolen a base, and scored a run. He scored in the second inning. The other one came on the Jones home run. And the pitch is taken for a strike. The Orioles all season long as a team with runners in scoring position have been at the top of the pile. They're still hitting .294 as a ball club. But of late on the road trip, the numbers were not particularly good.
Now, they were pressing a bit, knowing that they were having trouble scoring runs, and that's something we haven't seen from them for most of the season. But you could sense guys are really grinding that bat handle, trying to come up with a big hit.
Orioles with 2 outs as a team, hitting only .229 with runners in scoring position. 0-1 count to Mora. Runners off first and second base. Chen comes in with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, you get a sense that Trey Hillman's just trying to get Bruce Chen through this 5th inning so he qualifies for a win. He's had Tejeda twice in this game. First and foremost, Hillman needs a win for his ball club.
He has pitched as much as 6 1/3, but that was on his very first start against Pittsburgh on June 27 when he was called up by Kansas City. 1 ball, 1 strike count. The turnaround look at second base, and Chen wants Pena to come out. Pena says, I'm not coming out there. So Chen goes back to the mound.
How about that?
He signaled him to come
on out. He goes, nope.
Nope.
Stand here. You're on your own, big boy.
Good battery relationship going on there, don't you think?
Now I want you to come out. Okay, I will. Bruce Chen's a wonderful guy. He's a very outgoing personality. He speaks Chinese, Spanish, and English. And a tremendous student. Went to Georgia Tech, engineering student, and he's got a very interesting background. Grew up in Panama.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. 2-1 to Melvin Mora. Been a grinded out game so far. A lot of pitches, a lot of chances. Both teams have had base runners on. Kansas City's had somebody on in all 5 of their innings. The Orioles, they were retired in order in the 4th for the only time. 7 left on by the Royals, 6 by the Orioles. Melvin Mora inside out back for a foul ball, and the count will go to 2-2.
Yeah, the Orioles are really desperate for a big hit. They haven't had one of those big hits that just blows an inning wide open, or back-to-back hits where you score 3 or 4 runs in an inning. It's been kind of a difficult time to scratch runs out.
Melvin's had only 3 home runs this year. They all have been hit here at Camden Yards. Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and almost hit him. Did hit him. So the bases are loaded again. Caught the jersey. Second hit batter by Chen.
It just barely brushed his jersey way inside off the plate. More jackknifes out of the way, but you can see he got that baggy jersey.
Melvin was going to stay in there and hit, but the home plate umpire John Hirschbeck said no. So here's Matt Wieters. Orioles with the bases loaded again. They left them loaded in the second inning. And Wieters gets a base hit into left field. Hop will score. Reimold coming. Friel's throw to the plate in time. The tag in the face. And he's got the ball in the out. So it will be an RBI base hit for Wieters, getting Huff in. Reimold coming around trying to score. Gets thrown out by Ryan Friel. Look at all the time he had. Throw even off the mark. Had to come back and touch him up. Tie game.
Will be at the Masson booth on Utah Street near Gate A, signing autographs and meeting fans. Tonight's Orioles alumni were Gary Renicky, Ross Grimsley, John Habian, and Ken Gerhardt. So come out to Oriole Park this season on Mondays and Thursdays and relive some of your favorite Orioles memories. For more details, go to Orioles.com or call 888-848-BIRD. Gary?
All right, Amber, thank you very much. And there you see Nolan Reimold as the Orioles have tied the game up. It's 3-3. Here's the play.
Ryan Friel makes a one-hop throw to the outside of the bag. But look at Brian Pena dive back over and slap the tag on the face of Nolan Reimold. Reimold sliding away from the tag, but didn't have enough room to go around the Royals catcher.
Well, the out recorded at the plate. And a 3-3 ball game. Reimold took a pretty good sock to the jaw with that glove of Pena as he dove at him in order to get the out. Matt Elbers has come on to do the pitching. Brian Bass 2 2/3. No runs, 3 hits with an intentional pass and a strikeout. Oh, he's not. Sorry. Thought Matt was out there and he's not. Brian stayed on. Here's the delivery. Swung on, grounded into right field for a base hit.
Alex Gordon starting to get in his timing, and we talked about him missing the first half of the season with hip surgery, and he's had 2 base hits and a walk here tonight. Also threw in a stolen base for good measure.
Matt Elbers came on, or Bass came on in the 3rd inning. He got the final 2 outs, so he's working on his 3rd complete inning here. And the throw over almost gets away from Aubrey Huff. Gordon on with Betancourt up. The number 9 hitter is grounded out and flied out. Matt Albers may get in this inning, warming up in the bullpen. Bunting plays at first and high and got the bag. Boy, Bass has made Aubrey Huff do a couple of dances over there. If he gets the out, it'll be a sacrifice for Betancourt.
And Aubrey saying, listen, I'm a big guy. Just try to throw it in my chest, would you? He handcuffed him with a little short hopper, and he throws this one almost away from Aubrey Huff, who has time to regroup. Pulls him off the bag, and Huff has to re-tag the bag as he goes into foul territory and then steps on just ahead of Betancourt.
Now Bloomquist, who's walked and singled and flied out, gets the RBI chance. Alex Gordon is on at second base. At least one runner on in every inning for Kansas City. Bloomquist, one of the walks surrendered in the ball game as Hill gave up 3. He's the one that scored in the first. 1-0 delivery to him, fastball inside. Butler's got 2 RBIs with a double and a single. Tien's had an RBI double. The Orioles have 2 from Jones on a homer and a bases loaded hit by a pitch, and Wieters an RBI single in the last half inning that has tied the ball game up. 2-0 delivery on the way. A shot is Torres. Roberts not in time.
Boy, Torres kind of lobbed that ball to Brian Roberts. It wasn't really a sharp feed. Brian could have taken the ball before the bag, but watch how he kind of lobs it. Might not have had a good grip on it. Just kind of shovels it there. Brian's got to wait for it, and by that time Gordon is back safely at second base. If he fires a strong throw right at Roberts, it might take him right to the bag, but that little looping throw allowed them to get back in there.
Dave Tremblay is on his way out. Callaspo will be at the plate, and Matt Albers is going to come out of the bullpen as Bass. Good job. There's some hits but no runs, and the Orioles get back through his tenure to tie it up 3-3. Albers out of the bullpen.
Yeah, Matt Albers has pitched well. 33rd appearance of the season, and with that last line drive out at shortstop and the fact that Brian Bass pitched 3 full innings, Dave Tremblay is going to a fresh arm here with the runner in scoring position at second base and 2 outs. So he allows Matt Albers to get out of this inning to strand that go-ahead base run.
Left-handers have hit Albers hard, 313. Right-handers 244. Only home run he's surrendered, a left-hander has it. Alberto Callaspo with a runner at second base. And the breaking ball is in there. Callaspo's got a 9-game hit streak that he extended with a double in the 3rd inning. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Gordon at second base, held by his Torres. The 0-1 will be looped off the end of the bat to left center field. Jones coming. He's the traffic cop, and he's got it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. Ball game tied, 3-3.
Also, Winston Abreu, both have been suspended for their role in a weekend beaming of Mariner Jack Hanahan. Also, the Mets have fired Vice President of Player Development Tony Bernazard for what Omar Minaya called a number of incidents. Also, Bud Selig is seriously considering reinstating Pete Rose into baseball. And, of course, the question remains, will the all-time baseball hits leader ever make it into the Hall of Fame? Gary and Buck?
I think there's a building sentiment to have Pete Rose reinstated, and then it'll be up to the baseball writers to vote on him. But Aaron, Rose, Bench, and Robinson all over the weekend endorsed his inclusion into the Hall of Fame.
But there were others, including Goose Gossage, who said they will not come back to the Hall of Fame.
Cheaters, yeah, and he was talking about steroid abusers as well, and that's what they were suggesting, that anybody that cheated, some of them would say, no, I'm never coming back, if that's the case.
It's a big deal.
Yep.
It's a very big deal for the Hall and for baseball. Robinson Tejeda. Big right-hander out of the bullpen. Ball game tied at 3, so Bruce Chen leaves the starter without a chance to win his first game. 3 runs, 8 hits over 5. Walked 2 and struck out a season-high 6. But it is a tie game. And that will be into right field for a base hit. As Torres his second, as he is 2 for 3 in the ball game, and the leadoff man on here again for the Orioles.
Well, time to cash in on that leadoff base runner. Turn your lineup over, and Torres, of course, has the ability to steal. He's 9 for 9 this year in stolen bases.
Tejeda spent some time on the DL. He had 26 games off for the rotator cuff problem, activated on June 20. He hasn't worked since the 21st. Against the Angels, and he gave up 3 runs and 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts in that game. He struck out the side the first inning, couldn't get anybody out the second. As Torres is running, throw, and got him. Ryan Pena with a solid throw on his Torres. 1 down.
First time Izzy's been caught all year long. He gets a good jump, and Brian Pena throws it right on the bag. All Betancourt has to do is hang on to the baseball and just lean it into the sliding Torres as he is gunned down for the first time this year.
So that is a very big out. Brian Roberts lifts it foul. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game, batting right-handed. Gets to turn around here on this at bat against Tejeda. There's some of the defense that Kansas City hasn't had much of this season, coming from their catcher, Pena. 1-1 delivery on the way. Roberts will take that for a strike. 1-2.
Yeah, of course, I thought that was a good time to run. You get your leadoff guy on, you're in a tying game. You get your leadoff hitter at the plate, and Brian Roberts with Pena threw a perfect strike to second base.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Swung on and missed. One of the things managers love to do is to get a pitcher like Tejeda on after a pitcher like Chen. Chen with all that off-speed breaking ball stuff. Then you bring a guy who's got a decent fastball that makes him look doubly fast to the hitters, at least the first time around.
Yeah, it's quite an adjustment midstream. And what you have to just think about is recognize who's pitching now and forget about the previous at bat you had against Chen.
There are 2 down, and Nick Markakis 0 for 2 in a walk. He has struck out twice. Tejeda gets it in. All or nothing, and got him. Good play. And Robinson Tejeda, a little defense out there on the mound, and the Orioles retired. Only 3 up in the inning. 1 hit, nobody left on. Ball game tied.
Back-to-back doubles, and that led to a 2-run 3-hit inning, and they eventually knocked him out of the game. Matt Wieters delivers the tying base hit to left field, and he had a chance to put the club ahead, but Ryan Friel's throw to the plate on the money, and Pena tagged out Nolan Reimel. 3-3 here as we play in the 7th inning. Rich Hill, another abbreviated start.
Only 2 1/3 for Hill. The 3 runs on 4 hits. He is non-decisioned in the ball game. Billy Butler, a 3-hit game, 2 RBIs, 2 singles, a double, run scored. And that one will be taken in the dirt. Matt Albers came on to get the final out in the 6th inning. This Kansas City team has lost 11 of their last 12 ball games, and were outscored 77 to 42 in those games. But they have made this one a tight game into the 7th inning. 1-1 delivery on the way to him, and Butler will bounce it foul.
Matt was waiting just in case it might have hit a rock and come back into fair territory, because it's kind of teetering on the foul line.
So the kind of ball game Kansas City has desperately tried to win of late and have not been able to do it, as they've been roughed up for 27 earned runs, 26 innings late in ball games. That one to the gap. What a night for Butler. Markakis all the way to the well. Butler at second base has got another double. That is a 4-hit ball game, including 2 doubles, this one leading off the 7th inning.
You're seeing the development of a good young hitter. This is what they thought Billy Butler could be, a guy that hit for a high average and will develop power as we go along. He gets the breaking ball on the outside. There's a great example of the rotation a hitter can see on the baseball, and Butler identifies it and then extends out over the plate and drives it to the opposite power alley in right center.
So now the potential go-ahead run on. 31 two-baggers on the year. Each team with 9 hits in the game. Mark Teahen fouls that one back. He too has picked up a double and an RBI. He's 1 for 3. With the 4 hits tonight for Butler, he's now 9 for 22 this year against the Orioles with 6 RBIs. Billy Butler's become a nemesis for the O's pitchers. 1 strikeout on Mark Teahen. Teahen going to third. Melvin Morris scoops, holds the runner. 1 down.
Yeah, that's an unproductive out as Melvin Moore went to his left. Teahen hit it hard, but it was right at Moore who checked Billy Butler back to second base, and the Royals can't advance the base runner.
Now Miguel Olivo hitting only 173 with runners in scoring position. He's got one out there at second base. In this ball game, he's 0 for 2 in a walk. Got robbed of a base hit by Nick Markakis his last time up, at a fine catch. And nubs that one to first. Huff getting over to cover Albers. The pitch stays in time. Over to third base Butler. 2 down.
Now there's the difference in a productive out. Had Teahen pulled the ball onto the right side, the infield would have been drawn in. No telling what happens on that little ground ball to first base.
So Ryan Friel will be asked to pick up the 2-out RBI. Wieters getting things settled with Albers on what they want to do here. Matt this season, 3 wild pitches. And you can bet the discussion at third base with the base runners all about that. 2 down. Friel. He'll take it away for a ball. Or Pena rather, sorry. Pena taking it down low. Pena has picked up an intentional pass that worked in the 5th inning as Friel came up and grounded out. Pena's got an 0 for 2 in the ball game. Off third base Butler. And the pitch is down low, 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be aware of what's going on in this situation now. You fall behind Pena, you can't give in to it. And the switch hitter hitting left-handed in this situation with 2 outs. They've got Friel, the on-deck batter. Mind you, they have some depth on their bench from the left side.
Big cut. Ryan Pena going for the long ball here, 2-1.
Trey Hillman, if Pena can get on base, he's got some left-handers on his bench if he would like to pinch hit. Matty Albers would like to take that decision out of his hands.
This has been a night of offense. Orioles have had just 2 innings without leaving a base runner on, and only 1 where they've been retired in order. Kansas City, they've had a base runner at least 1 in every inning. Butler at third here with 2 away, and the 2-2 delivery. Loops that one into the seats. Foul ball again. Pena ready. Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and a slow roller. Melvin Moore's got to make it or a run scores and can't do it. It will be an infield hit and an RBI for Pena as Butler will cross with the go-ahead run 4-3.
Yeah, you can't get fooled by Brian Pena's body. He can run a little bit. And that ball was tapped up the third baseline. Moore had to make a do-or-die play. Pena gets out of the box very quickly. He can smell an infield hit and an RBI, and Morris throw just not in time. He flat out outruns it. Just a little number off the end of the bat, then hustle up the line, and he runs well.
7th RBI in the 27th game he's played in. And he goes on the belly to first. So again, in a game where the lead has seesawed back and forth, Kansas City goes on top by 1, 4-3. That's their 10th hit. Jammed inside. Friel 0 for 3. First at bat denied a potential hit on a good play by Brian Roberts on a pop-up he caught going into right field. Friel shows bunt for the base hit. Melvin Mora. No play here either. So Friel is on with a single, laying that one down. And Kansas City more than willing to play the small ball here and getting some base runners as a result of it.
Well, they have to play the small ball. They don't have any power, and Friel, a very deliberate approach on the bunt. He's got Melvin Moore deep at third. Melvin has no play. So he makes sure that Pena holds his ground at second base. Danny Baez getting loose in a hurry. Alex Gordon is the scheduled batter, and he has had a big night at the plate. 2 for 2 with a walk. And now they're talking about an approach here is twice Gordon has singled sharply into right field. I'm sure Rick Kranitz is giving Albers and Wieters some alternatives into how to approach this at bat.
It's been a tough inning for Albers. A leadoff double, a hard hit ball by Butler, but the RBI by Pena was an infield hit, and now the bunt by Friel for another infield hit. That's 11 hits in the ball game by the Royals. 2 on and 2 down. Alex Gordon, he's hitting in the number 8 spot, but he is not a number 8 type hitter. He's got some power. Coming back off the DL, he'll take the breaking ball. It is in there for a strike. 2 singles and a walk for Gordon in the game. He has a 5-game hit streak extended in the ball game tonight. 0-1 delivery. Off-speed pitch, changeup will miss outside. 1-1. Orioles had the early lead 1-0, 1-1. Orioles got up 2-1. Royals went up 3-2. Then 3-3, and now here in the 7th inning, another run in, and the Royals back on top by 1.
And Gordon has only had 40 at bats since his return, so he is still playing catch up. That's not even a spring training's amount of at bats, and the timing is still rusty after he's missed so much time with that injury.
That's why he's batting in the 8th spot. 1-2 delivery to him outside. They're trying to play him about 5 out of 7 games right now, giving 2 days off, 2 games off a week, till they feel as though he's closer to 100% after the hip operation. And also he's trying to find out, as well as the team, just where he is physically with that hip when it comes to game conditions. 2-2 delivery. Gordon takes that one down the line. It'll be a foul ball.
And if you're wondering why there's been a rash of hip injuries, we talk about Chase Utley, Alex Rodriguez, Mike Lowell had it at the end of last year. Alex Gordon had it earlier this year. It's just the improved diagnostic technique of the MRI. They now can look deeper into the hip joint and identify labral tears in there. They can go in there and surgically repair them. In the past, they just say, well, you've got an arthritic hip.
2-2 delivery. It's a roller as Torres has got to go to first base and gets it there in time for the out. But a run in, and Kansas City up by 1. Tonight's 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink.
Had a big night, middle of the order. Jones with that first inning home run with 2 outs. Aubrey Huff starting to show signs of breaking out of a prolonged slump, but Nolan Reimel just continues to impress. Very patient at bats. Reimel has reached base all 3 times. He walked in the first inning, singled and stole a base in the third inning, singled and moved around and was thrown out for the final out of the 5th inning, but he has had a great run here. Good 3 games in Boston, and he's gotten off to a great start here on the homestand.
We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning in a 1-run ball game. Tejeda's on the mound as he came on to face only 3 in the last inning, despite a leadoff single by Torres. Adam Jones will be leading it off. See if this bullpen lives up to its reputation for Kansas City. They are next to last in ERA, meaning the second highest, 5.04 out of the pen. Jones foul tips that one into the Mets. Strike 1. $15,169 the announced attendance here at Camden Yards tonight. 0-1 delivery on the way. Pretty good heater right there in the 2-strike count.
Take a look at the outfield defense, and it'll be even more pronounced to the opposite field now with 2 strikes as Adam just tries to defend the strike zone. But by showing that opposite field defense, to me that suggests that Adam Jones is really growing as a hitter. Not so conscious of pulling the ball all the time, just using the whole field. And we've seen that with his home run to center tonight.
Here's the 0-2 delivery to him. Jones will take that one the other way. Marti in the right fielder. He's got it. Jones retired. 1 away, 7th. Join the Orioles Wives, WJZ TV, and the Oriole Advocates. It's the 23rd annual Orioles Reach Food Drive. It's going to take place this weekend here at Camden Yards. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Red Sox will be here, and each day you can help the Maryland Food Bank. A representative will be available at all of the gates to take donations, bring in non-perishable food items, or you can donate cash. It'll go to all of the kitchens, food pantries, emergency shelters throughout Maryland. That's this weekend. That one in the air to center field. Hit hard. Aubrey Huff back at the wall and with room. Bloomquist hauls it in. A couple of feet shy of a tie game.
Yeah, Aubrey's starting to show signs that stroke's coming around a bit. He's had a couple of hits tonight. Hit that one right on the nose, but it kind of hung up in this muggy air here tonight.
Tejeda gets a little help from the D and keeping the ball to the biggest part of the yard. There are 2 down. Nolan Reimold. And a strike taken. Reimold, 2 singles and a walk. Thrown out at the plate in what right now is the play that is the difference in the ball game. 4-11-0 for the Royals. 3-9-0 for the Orioles. 10 have been left on by Kansas City and 8 by the O's. 0-2. Tejeda with the 0-2 delivery. Reimold. Gordon up. And got him on a very close play. He can motor down the line. So a 1-2-3 inning, 7 complete, 4-3 KC. by Nick Markakis, Adam Jones in their new fan club section. Just $21 gets you a reserved Utah Street bleacher seat and the I Live at 2110 Utah Street t-shirt. That's August 15th. 888-848-BURR to go to Orioles.com. For 2110, Markakis Jones. On the mound now, it'll be Danny Baez coming on. Albers out of there after an inning and a third, a run on 3 hits.
Danny Baez trying to keep it a 1-run game here as he works in the 8th inning.
And a strike taken as Yuniesky Betancourt will lead it off. He's 0 for 3, 0 for 2 in a sacrifice, and then the top of the order. Had to reach for that one and fouls it back.
Baez's last inning of work came in the 8th inning on Friday night at Boston. He had a 1-2-3 8th inning, ground ball, line drive, ground ball. Easy work for Baez, and he's been scuffling a little bit with his split finger pitch. Hasn't been that same biting, breaking pitch that he throws down in his zone. That's one right there. He was steered well out of the strike zone. 93 miles an hour, and he'll throw it that hard. The split finger fastball is his bread and butter.
He had a scoreless inning on Friday against the Red Sox. His last outing. Markakis has it. Betancourt is retired and one away here in the 8th inning. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. The candidates tonight: Butler, who's delivered a 4-for-4 ball game, 2 RBIs. Jones with the home run and a couple of RBIs. That Aubrey Huff, who has picked up a couple of singles and a run scored. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 518-62. One down in the 8th inning. Bloomquist. A walk and scored a run in the 1st inning. Single in the 4th. He is 1 for 3 at the plate and batting .266. Pitch will be taken up high, and the count goes to 2-0 from Baez. Right now, Matt Albers and Tejeda are the pitchers of record in the ball game for these two teams here in game 1 of this set. 2-0 delivery on the way, up the middle. Roberts over, running throw. And not in time, and it goes into the well. It's going to be an extra base. So the Orioles do not get a break on that one. Instead of bouncing off something and staying on the playing surface, it ends up going out of play.
Well, Matt Wieters has a chance to keep this ball in play. The ball sneaks underneath the glove of Aubrey Huff between his legs. Wieters is there behind the play. Watch behind Huff. Wieters gets over there, but the ball goes over toward Wieters, but he just didn't get in front of the ball in time. Oftentimes, catchers will run up that first baseline, just kind of taking it for granted that nothing's going to happen, but you have to anticipate that ball getting away from the first baseman.
So the error charged to the Orioles on the throw made by Roberts. And obviously anything here late in the ball game, big runs. One down, runner on at second base. Gallo, 1 for 4, has had a double and a run scored. He's continued his 9-game hit streak and now gets an RBI opportunity. The 0-1 delivery to him inside. As Torres will keep Bloomquist as close as he can at second base. That run is important as it is. It will give Gallo, though, a chance to shoot that ball through the shortstop hole.
You have to keep eye on Willie Bloomquist. He's a base stealer. And that's why his Torres is shadowing him right behind him at shortstop.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Baez. Couple of looks back. Down to first base, Aubrey Huff. Aspo is retired. Over to third goes Bloomquist, and there are 2 down.
And now with the hot Bill Butler at the plate, Matt Wieters has to remind himself to really go down on this low fastball, split finger pitch, anything in the dirt, because if Baez is going to be most effective, that's where he has to throw it. He's got to throw it down, and from time to time he will bounce it.
There are 2 away. Butler, a 4-for-4 game. Gets a base hit into right field. A 5-hit ball game for Billy Butler and his 3rd RBI, as Bloomquist will score the unearned run, and it is a 5-3 Kansas City lead.
Obviously not where you want that pitch. First pitch fastball right out over the middle of the plate, and Butler jumps all over it. Look where he squares up on that ball, right on the barrel. He barrels it up into right field. First pitch fastball. Guy's been red hot, and he leaves now with the run coming across to expand that lead to 5-2. Pinch runner.
There is Mitch Meyer, who will come on to run for Butler. What a night for Billy Butler. And here's Martin. And we told you Butler's having a great season against the Orioles with the 5 hits tonight. That's 10 hits he's had against the Orioles in 23 at bats, and he's got 8 RBIs against the O's in 5 games in his first 5-hit ball game. Pitch is taken down low for a ball, and a 13-hit attack by the Royals.
It's really surprising. They have been scuffling to score runs, and 13 hits is way above their average. But what a night for Billy Butler. Second 5-hit game of the season for the Royals. Martin had the other.
1-0 count. The Royals have had as many as 19 hits in a ball game. That came against Texas back in April. 1-0 delivery on the way. Swung on a miss. Martin with a big pop. He's got a double and an RBI. He's 1 for 4. And base runners galore. They've scored 5 runs, and Kansas City's left 10 on base. You see tonight the Orioles have left 8 on. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. That one picked up and hits the bag, and a base hit. The pitching wedge, and he put it right into the hole, if you will, by hitting third base. Melvin Moore ended up with no play, and it's a single.
Yeah, defensive swing by T, and that the ball bounces on the bag straight up into the air. You can see the defensive swing on a low fastball. Melvin's got no play. Unfortunately, it didn't bounce over his head. That would have gone down the left field line and really been trouble.
Well, Kansas City not done here in the 8th inning, and anything scored here is unearned. Olivo, he has had a walk, 0 for 3 officially. Runners at first and second now. 2 down. And the fastball is up high by Baez. Tonight, that's an amazing number. I mean, that is a whole series worth of runners in scoring position for the Royals. 18. You get that in 3 games, you figure you're in pretty good shape. They've had it here in 1.
Yeah, they've really had a tough time recently. They only scored 8 runs in the 3 games against the Texas Rangers when they lost 2 out of 3 over the weekend.
1-0 count. And that will miss outside, and he goes to 2-0 on Olivo.
But again, it's just another reminder that you can't take any major league club for granted, no matter who you are. You give them extra opportunities, you commit errors, you give them base on balls. They're liable to run into a hot pitcher, and Bruce Chen was able to get out of a couple of nasty situations early in the game. Baez
falling off the mound, falling through on that one, and the count goes to 3-0 on Olivo. Danny Baez on for the 35th time this year. He's been a workhorse. George Sherrill, 41 appearances. 3-0 delivery, and he gets that in there. First strike, and the count will go to 3-1. Clay Meredith in the bullpen. And again, one of those nights where with Rich Hill lasting only 2 1/3, the Orioles have had to go deep into the pen already. Bass, Alvarez, and Baez. 3-1 delivery, and that will be fouled away. And Kansas City clearly coming off that disappointing homestand they had, with every intent to get some wins as they went 1-8 on their homestand.
And their next two scheduled pitchers, Brian Bannister and Zach Greinke, are really throwing the ball well right now.
3-2, runners go with 2 down. That's down the line and right, and it will be a foul ball.
Zach Greinke, of course, the all-star starter, leads the American League in ERA. Brian Bannister has really pitched well. He's really developed, and he too is a guy that will pitch late into the game.
Runners will go again with 2 away on the 3-2 count to Miguel Olivo. Meyer off second base, the pinch runner, teeing off first, swung at and missed, strike him out. Baez gets the cave and an unearned run on a couple of hits and an error increases the lead for the Royals to 5-3.
This is Nolan Ryan. Here comes the throw. And you see the tag by Pena right into the face of Nolan Rymel. Rymel coming around with 2 outs. He's got a good jump, but Pena tagged him out.
And obviously a very big play in the ball game. A 5-3 Royals lead as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Robinson Tejeda stays on the mound. He came on after 5 worked by Chen. He's given up only 1 single in the 2 innings work. Luke Scott down to first. That is a fair ball. Tien, who just moved over to first base, will make the play himself. Tien had started the game in right field. And 1 away. Mora and Wieters due up.
Meyer comes in to play center. He came on as a pinch runner for Billy Butler. And then Willie Bloomquist moves into right field. He started the game in center field.
This series on the season is tied at 2 games apiece. Kansas City looking to take the edge in it. They can get the victory here tonight. The Orioles with time to get back, trailing by just 2. The Orioles won the season series last year 5 games to 3. That is taken inside by Mora. Singled and scored. Popped out. Hit by a pitch.
Well, one thing you have to guard against if you're the Orioles is a letdown. You go to Chicago, play the White Sox, go to New York, play the Yankees, go to Fenway Park to play the Red Sox, and you come home thinking, hey, it's Kansas City. They'll jump up and bite you, and Tejeda has slammed the door on him very effectively here.
He's got a chance to be the winning pitcher in this ball game. He has no decisions in the 19 times he's been out, limited, as we said, by the injury that put him on the DL. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Moore. Tejeda has thrown well in this game. He's throwing hard and has thrown strikes. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Moore down to third on a shattered bat. Gordon, 2 down. 2 away in the 8th. Visit Orioles.com right now to register for upcoming Orioles baseball summer camps. Boys and girls 7 to 16 years old. 4-day programs. Professional instructors. Free Oriole tickets and more. Ty Wigginton at Hereford High. That'll be on Saturday. A new camp at the Park School in Baltimore begins August 10. And you get a chance to play at Oriole Park later this season. Go to Orioles.com for information. Matt Wieters, an RBI base hit. He has struck out and flied out, and will take the strike. For Matt this season, batting right-handed, came in with a .217 average, left-handed .286. 2 of the 3 home runs he has hit from this side of the plate. And that's away to him, 1-1.
Well, he's going to take a while to get adjusted to hitting left-handers on a regular basis. In minor leagues, you don't see that many left-handers, so you don't get that many at-bats as a right-hander when you're a switch hitter.
1-1 delivery to him. Slider inside.
Took Brian Roberts a while before he really became a polished right-handed hitter, simply because you don't have the repetition of seeing all those left-handed pitchers. This year has been totally different. There have been a lot more left-handed starters in the league this year. Cleveland just faced 8 left-handers in a row.
2-1 delivery on the way. Wieters down the line and foul. The Orioles, when they faced, was it 8 in a row?
I think so.
That set a new mark,
yeah.
So it's another mark set by Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm in Cleveland too. They played Seattle twice in back-to-back series, and Seattle's got all those left-handers in the rotation, and they recalled Justin Vargas the same way that the Orioles faced Vargas the last time they were in Seattle.
2 ball, 2 strike count on Wieters. 2 down, bases are empty. Looks like one of the names that had been out there in the trade list, the former Oriole Eric Bedard. Did he go on the DL today? Yeah, he did. So
he's out of the picture.
Yep. Takes another name out.
And that pushes Jared Washburn a little further to the surface.
Cliff Lee a little more valuable. 3 ball, 2 strike count on Wieters. Tejeda may be running out of gas here. He's really slowing down his work. Trying to get through 3 innings is what they want here, as Soria, the closer, is available to them. They brought Soria on to get 6 outs the other day in order to break out of a losing streak. Fouled away, so Trey Hillman and company right now are really just trying to nurse this along.
Trey Hillman and Bob McClure called Soria into their office on Saturday before that game and said, Joaquin, we have this situation where we're not winning many games. How do you feel about a 6-out save? He said, I'll do whatever you need. Obviously, he hadn't had many save opportunities of late.
3-2 count on Wieters. And got the pop up in the infield. Shortstop. Betcourt's there, and he's got it. And a 1-2-3 inning. That's been a heck of a job by Tejeda out there on the mound. He has set the side down in order for the last 2 innings and retired. Official sponsors of the timeout. Relax responsibly. And at the Inner Harbor, why not? A 5-3 lead for the Royals, out hitting the Orioles 14-9 in the ball game. One unearned run on the board for KC. And Clay Meredith will come on to do the pitching, the fifth pitcher used by the Orioles in the game.
Yeah, not exactly what Dave Tremblay had on his mind when he began this game. We got Jason Birkin going tomorrow, and Jason has had a little bit of a rough go of it, so you'd like to have some fresh arms down there, but hopefully Jason will be able to stretch it out and give you 6-7 innings tomorrow. Birkin anxious for another opportunity. He won his first major league game and then has lost 8 straight decisions.
And the breaking ball will be taken inside as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Pena delivered the RBI single his last time up, 1 for 3 and an intentional pass in the ball game for Brian Pena. And the pitch to him is a strike taken. Unearned run came in that 8th, charged against Baez. The pitch will be taken down low, 2-1. So Meredith's job here is shut the door right now and give the Orioles a chance against, we assume, Soria coming out of the bullpen to close it out if it stays as a save situation. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Pena.
Clay Meredith, sidearm, as you can see, and he's got that delivery that's difficult for hitters to make the adjustment. Watch the release point. Watch where the ball comes out of his hand right there. Very difficult to determine where you're going to pick up that release point.
Wieters makes the play, but it was ruled a foul ball. Bounced off Pena in the batter's box. Wieters, just to make sure, gunned it down there, talking to John Hirschbeck about that as to where the ball was. Wieters does that very well. Anything around the plate, we've seen a number of times where he's picked a ball up that's just barely fair with the batter standing in the batter's box. He doesn't assume anything on those balls at the plate. This one down to first. Meredith gets over to cover. Left got in there. Pena retired, run away.
Well, let's take another look at Clay Meredith's delivery, and he is a side armor. Very difficult for the hitters to make the adjustment here, and look at how the ball comes out from the side. Not the traditional high over the shoulder of the high 3/4 delivery. So in and out very quickly. A lot of strikes. It can be an easy inning for Meredith if he just really keeps the pitches to a minimum.
A very effective pitcher coming on to work once through the order, because you just don't see many pitchers throw from that angle. So to come on as a reliever and have that ability, Chad Bradford had that. He really went down with that submarine pitch. It just takes hitters a couple of times to see it before they have a chance to line it up, and by then he's gone and somebody else is in.
Even the veteran left-hander that's since retired, Mike Myers, who pitched with the Tigers and pitched in Boston and New York, he was another left-hander. Didn't throw very hard, but it was such an unusual release point that he had a lot of success in a long career.
Brian Friel a single, 1 for 4 in the ball game. The 0-1 pitch to him. Good jam shot right there. 0-2 on Friel. Billy Butler's been the story of this game with a 5 for 5 ball game and 3 RBIs. And that's been Kansas City's offense. Pena had an RBI single. Friel, a strikeout victim, 2 down.
Great combination, sinking fastball down and in, sweeping breaking ball away for the strikeout. Watch how this ball starts in the zone and breaks all the way out of the zone, and Friel with 2 strikes has to try to foul it off. Can't come close to it.
2 down and nobody on. And Meredith will work to Alex Gordon, who takes the pitch outside for a ball. Gordon with a couple of singles and a walk. He is also grounded out in the ball game. Hit .260 with Kansas City last year. Got in a full season. Ended up with 16 home runs, 59 RBIs. You talk to anybody from Kansas City and they say that's why the hope was, had he been healthy, that this could have been his breakthrough year and put up the big numbers and become A real solid everyday player. That one to short. Torres will handle it. Meredith comes on and retires the side in order. The Orioles get a shot at it. Coming up is Torres, Roberts, and Markakis, and the closer for KC.
In here losing 11 out of its last 12 ball games. They surprised the Orioles with a lot of offense tonight, especially Billy Butler. 5 hits on the night, 2 RBIs. He's been that big nemesis for the Orioles tonight.
Orioles have 9-1-2 coming up against the Kansas City closer. Back to the booth, and Gary and Buck.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. And there you see the uphill battle here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A 5-3 Royals lead, and obviously it is a save situation. So Joakim Soria, the closer for Kansas City, is on to pitch.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the American League. He just doesn't have the save opportunities that other teams give their closer. Mentioned Soria with 15 saves. 35 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and he's unusual in that he has a fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. He throws them all pretty effectively. He's got a very good curveball, and he's got good command, obviously, but former All-Star, a guy that they have a lot of confidence in. They just haven't had many opportunities to get to him with the lead.
He's only had 17 chances, so he's 15 out of 17 on the year, including that 2 innings on Saturday night, his longest appearance when he came on and got the save. And he's retired 16 out of 26 first batters. That's not particularly high. Let's see what the Orioles can do against him as they get a shot with his Torres leading it off. He's delivered a couple of singles, 2 for 3 in the ball game. Gordon is in at third base against him, and a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-2. Alex Gordon will move back. Soria, left-handers 200 against him, right-handers 173. He has given up just 1 home run. 0-2 off-speed pitch, and he went around. Home plate umpire John Hirschbeck makes the call.
Now that's the curveball we talked about. With 2 strikes, he's able to snap that hook off, and you have to try to protect the strike zone here. Watch how the break takes it down into the dirt, and he went far enough. Hirschbeck saw it all the way and rings up his Sturris.
So that all-important first out of the inning in the 9th. Brian Roberts an 0 for 4 against the Royals this year, 5 for 20. Brian hitting at 279. Orioles need only 1 to get on to get that potential tying run to the plate. Soria with a 1-0 delivery on the way, and that one's going to be fouled back. Let's bring you up to date on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game, with Jones on top by a big margin. Still time to vote, A, B, or C. 51862, the results on the O's Extra postgame show. One ball, 1 strike count. Soria. Brian Roberts late on a heater. Reared back on that one, a 1-2 count. Got it as a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Got quite a wide gap between his curveball and his fastball. The curveball he got his Sturson was 68 miles an hour, and that was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball up.
Soria delivers, then it's fouled back by Roberts. Soria in his career has gone 2 for 2 in save opportunities against the Orioles. He's only worked 4 1/3 innings against the O's, giving up no runs on 1 hit, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Brian Roberts, 1-2 delivery.
Well, he slipped on that pitch.
Almost fell down.
Yeah, he lost his footing and spun out of his delivery, and the pitch looked to be a changeup, but no telling what it was. Might have been a curveball that just slipped out of his hand once he lost his footing.
Two ball, 2 strike count on Roberts. Soria's delivery to him. Miss, 3-2.
Yeah, you made a great point early in the ball game how the game turned on the strikeout to Aubrey. Bases loaded. Orioles threatening to break it open. All they could muster against Bruce Chin was a single run, and Chin really got out of a tough situation and saved himself for 5 innings.
Big plays early in close ball games. You're never sure until you get later on in the game, but you just get a sense at some points because you have chances to blow a game open. And when it doesn't get done, Felix Pierre's got the rally cap going. Ryan Roberts with Markakis and then Jones due up. Soria. Roberts battling here as he fouls it off.
Well, Brian Roberts would love to get on board for Markakis and potentially Adam Jones. That's all you ask in a game. Get your big guys to the plate in the ninth.
And a timeout taken by Roberts at the plate, making Soria wait. Jones in the hole. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Roberts again fouls that one off. So he has taken him far enough where Soria now is trying to figure out, all right, I've thrown everything I got. Now what's the one I'm going to use to get him out?
Well, he still has a cushion. He's got a 2-run lead, and you don't want to bring the tying run to the plate, but at the same time, he's got the ability to go ahead and throw a breaking ball with full count. He throws it so well.
Again, the 3-2 delivery. Roberts a chopper to second base. Fastball, 2 down. So the battle won by Soria, and there are 2 away.
Yeah, he threw a slider there. Went back door with the slider, and all Roberts could do was pull it on the ground right after the second baseman.
So the Orioles with an out to work with. Nick Markakis, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a ground ball out. Has faced Soria only once and is 0 for 1 against him. Soria had 42 saves and 45 opportunities last year. 74 career saves. Nick Markakis with an 0-1 count. Robinson Tejeda looking for the win in this game in relief. Matt Albers would be the losing pitcher for the Orioles. That is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Markakis.
And that go-ahead run scored on a swinging bunt off the bat of Brian Pena with 2 outs. It's one of those plays where you just couldn't make a play on it, and Pena just dribbled it between the mound and third base and beat the throw.
Markakis will take it, and it is 1-2. Soria on the verge of his 16th shutout. And for Dave Turnblad, a tough night. The Orioles surrendering the 5 runs on 14 hits. And the Orioles getting their 3 so far on 9. 1-2 delivery. Markakis away, and the count goes to 2-2. Tejeda just did a tremendous job coming on. He gave up only 1 hit in 3 innings. Had a strikeout.
Yeah, the first batter got a base hit, and then he was erased on a catcher throw out at second.
2-2 delivery down to third base. Gordon, a tough play. Backhands it, long throw. He got him. And this one is in the books. And Kansas City comes away with a 5-3 victory in Game 1 with a 14-hit attack. Game 2 tomorrow. Jason Birkin will take the mound against Brian.